Hi, I'm Adam Shiva. I want to share with you a new technique I've been using to allow the conversations in my relationship to be a lot more effective. So I realized an issue that I was having. Because I really wanted to feel understood and connected, I had a desire to express my feelings, particularly when something came up that was challenging for me. I wanted to be able to share that with my partner in a way that helped me feel more understood. But what I came to realize, particularly after reading a book called Beyond Mars and Venus by John Gray, was that the process of talking through my emotions, particularly extended conversations in that, left me feeling like just kind of bogged down. And there was a lot of emotional challenge that really came from that depth of conversation. That instead of feeling like there was a certain, oh, whoa, I like got that off my chest, but particularly if it was something that wasn't immediately well received, I was often like more challenged than I was freed. And always I would feel this certain exhaustion. And more my partner started expressing that she was experiencing a lot of exhaustion and frustration around having to listen through my emotional experience for so long. So I came up with a process in a couple stages that helped me get out of this and also feel just as connected, but with a lot more ease and simplicity. So, my theory that I was coming up with was that relationships get worn out by processing. It's like our clothes. It's not how much you wear them, it's how much you wash them that really determines how fast they wear out. And similarly, I think our relationships get worn out by the processing, by the conversations we have to try to work out the bugs in the relationship. So how can we make this just take up less time and become more of a spot wash and less of a unpacking things? This is particularly problematic, I think, in situations where someone comes into a processing conversation before getting clear on what they'd really like, how they feel, and what they'd like to be felt in, how they'd like things to shift. So, one of the things I learned is that when I felt frustrated, if I tried to vent about it immediately, caused a lot more problems than it was worth. So I started journaling. I always carried a things to do list kind of notebook in my pocket that I always have with me. So I just wrote down what was frustrating me, and in a way that was expressing that frustration. I didn't like that it went this way. I wish this would have happened. You can't talk to me like this. Kind of just getting things off my chest. But that allowed me to show up within 5 minutes in this like present, loving, like giving way that I really desire to show up as, and allowed me to shift to that almost immediately. And so that was a big value for me. And from that, I would go and I would then talk about what still was having an emotional charge from that challenge a little bit later. But that was causing a lot of trouble. So what I learned to do was actually make a bullet-pointed list. After I kind of worked through, I would work out, here's the things I'd like her to change, both in that she might have behaviors that are challenging for me or that don't feel good. And to me, instead of a you need to change kind of way, it was like, hey, when you snap at me like this, I feel like beat down and kind of have this, and like, okay, express my feelings in this sort of NVC inspired, owning my own part of the process sort of way, and to break out of my own habits and the ways that I want to let go of that. I did it this way, I should have done it this way. And also, hey, if I get in this space, instead of dealing with me like this, if you dealt with me like this, I think I'd break out of that more effectively. And that's kind of this opportunity to apologize, this opportunity to break habits that are like these recurrent cycles where, like, you know, one person, that anxious avoidant pattern where one person's like, I want more of you, and the other one's like, I need more space. And it was like, okay, how do we recognize that? And instead of let it go A, B, C, D, to just go A, stop, and like know how to break the habit. And to kind of lay out, hey, this is me owning the things, this is how I think we could go out of them. Yeah, and sort of bringing that context. And what I realized was that I never actually doubt if she was understanding me. And though I would really hope that she would, and I'd put all this effort into it, it actually was a really poor use of my energy, because if I just trusted that she was there for me, it actually worked way better. And, given time, it wasn't always that I got an immediate response. It was often, okay, give it a little time, and then, yeah, okay. And I would leave her with this 8 bullet point note, a thing that used to take me and her 2 to 3 hours each. Now takes me 20 minutes and her 3 minutes. I think this is really effective to make relationships take less of our energy and be more focused on what we love about each other than what we're challenged with about each other, and still working out those challenges without blowing over them or getting bogged down by them. So I hope this is helpful for you. I'd love to see how this works for you and your feedback. I'd love to hear what you are curious about and want me to talk about in further videos. Also, I'd love to even hear your personal comments. So comment below, and also feel free to email me about any personal journey you're on with this. I love to hear your process. I really care about other people who are taking their life as an opportunity to do it the way we believe in a time where things are kind of a mess in a lot of our culture outside of our own lives. And yeah, I hope this has been helpful for you. Please subscribe, and I'd love to hear how I could help you in the future. Thanks so much, and enjoy your day.